And welcome to episode 586 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Nancy, and this is the only podcast that says,
A beautiful woman with alabaster skin and the eyes of a dove. She travels by night, only by night. Her sun is the moon, and her name is Isabeau. Find her and you find the wolf I want, the wolf who loves her.
whoa,
Yeah,
that's deep.
it is deep. It's from Ladyhawke.
Uh,
Like we were talking about the movies of Rutger Hauer last week and why he wasn't a bigger star.
right.
But and Ladyhawke is to me like one of those really underappreciated movies
Mm-hmm.
by like the general mass. I think there is a group of people who love that movie. It is a cult favorite probably.
Right.
But
No doubt.
that movie, it has this very odd thing of like magic existing in a certain way,
Uh-huh.
but yet it's like a very real feeling film.
Wow. I have never seen it.
You've never seen Ladyhawke?
Yeah, is that why you're looking at me for why I'm not agreeing with you?
Yeah, because I'm shocked you've never seen it.
I've never seen Ladyhawke.
We'll have to watch it sometime.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not just because it has Rutger Hauer.
Right.
I know you're not a huge Michelle Pfeiffer fan,
No,
but it does have
I don't mind her.
right, but it does also have Matthew Broderick.
Oh,
Yes.
and an older day, younger day.
Yeah, young. It's a young, much younger Matthew Broderick. Yes.
I meant to say older,
Yeah.
when he was younger.
Yeah, like the whole concept of the movie is Matthew Broderick plays a thief who escapes from this jail in the city and it's like medieval times.
Okay.
Okay, and he's found by Rutger Hauer, who is looking for him,
Okay.
and Rutger Hauer wants him to help him get back into the city so he can kill a bishop.
Oh, that's not
And
good.
right, and so like Rutger Hauer's like this badass knight. He's got big sword. Like I mean, he's Rutger Hauer,
Right.
and you're like, shit, this guy's badass, but he disappears at night,
Oh.
and then Michelle Pfeiffer shows up.
Oh.
And like, what's the connection? What's going on?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's a fantastic
I was
movie.
sitting here thinking that I missed something on why she would be, but no, I didn't.
No, like it's a fantastic movie
Right.
that like on the surface, if you just look at it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just like a medieval movie. There's nothing, but
Hmm.
and like the bishop. I mean, I think he's a Christian bishop.
Really?
Yeah, like I mean, it's very weird how it's
Mhm.
kind of like magic exists, but in a very, very odd way.
Right.
Like it's a fantastic movie that like
It is set in medieval times, though?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, like I mean,
I wasn't clear on
knights
that.
and swords and armor and all
Well,
that
I
good
know
stuff.
that
Yeah,
is, yeah. Huh. That's crazy. That I've never seen
it is.
it.
Because I mean, it's that odd, and then like the soundtrack is odd because it's like all synthesizer.
Oh. Wow.
But it's cool because it's like I think that's part of what makes it feel very 80s is like this very odd soundtrack of like it's all synthesizers.
Right.
Like you would expect like, well, this is gonna be orchestral. No,
Oh, yeah.
it's synth.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. Well, give me something to compare it to
Um,
that I've seen, obviously. If you can.
I really can't.
Okay.
Like it's unique in its story. And people are like, oh, that's bullshit. But I think it is. Like it's a unique story, and the way it's told is unique,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really well done. Like I remember I saw it in a theater.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was one of those movies my Aunt Joni took me and Ian to go see.
Gotcha.
And like I remember coming out of it like, wow, that was amazing,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also felt the same way. I remember when I went to go see Legend with Tom Cruise
Right. Right.
and directed by Ridley Scott and the unicorns and everything else. And I came
Yeah.
out of that movie going, fuck, that was amazing. All my friends were like, that was so fucking stupid. I'm like, did we watch the same movie?
Doubting your friends.
Like, did you see Darkness? Did you see Tim Curry? That's award winning.
They weren't paying attention.
No, like no, like they did. Like it was odd. Like it was like they saw a completely different movie from me because I walked out. I go,
Right.
holy shit, that was amazing.
Right.
And they were like, that was dumb.
That was dumb. He said dumb.
I am sorry. I want to see that again. So, but I haven't watched Ladyhawke in forever, and I like to sit down and watch it again. I have it on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember the cover of that, but yeah, you'll have to show me.
Yeah. Because that was what I was doing like yesterday. I was kind of like, because with Ian and Ian, we had scheduling difficulties this week. But with Ian, like we've been recording like early. So like I was like last night I was thinking about like, okay, well I need a quote for the show. And I was kind of like looking over at my DVDs, like, well, what movie haven't I quoted or haven't I quoted in a while,
right,
or
right.
What's something, and I saw Ladyhawke amongst them.
Which one was it? You have never quoted, or you haven't?
I've never quoted Ladyhawke.
Okay.
So
I didn't know which way you were going to go with that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go for
Yeah.
all you Ladyhawke fans.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there like, you're an idiot. Of course I am.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
That ain't none of your business.
Well, what can I say? I love the movie. I watched it. I mean, it's just like, and I'll tell you now, like, I love Excalibur. There are people who will tell you like that is a horrible movie, but like to me, like it's fantastic. Like it's so over the top, and like the shining armor and like the lens flare coming off of it, and then
Have I seen this?
I don't know if you've ever seen Excalibur or not. Probably not.
There are lots of movies people think that you like.
Like that is one that is a bit more specific, but it was like this rated R version of the story of King Arthur, and like it is.
Who's in it?
A young naked Helen Mirren.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Again, this is like I think Patrick Stewart's in it.
Really?
Yeah, I think a young Liam Neeson's in it.
Oh shit.
Let me look it up. I mean, it was like one of those things where it's like
Got quite a few people there.
yeah, it's like this massive British cast that you're just like at the time, like for like 1982, you're like, holy shit, everybody's in this movie. Yeah, Helen Mirren plays Morgana. Nigel Terry plays King Arthur.
Nigel.
Gabriel Byrne is in it.
What?
Yeah, I think he plays Arthur's bastard son.
Is this an older movie? When was this?
This is like 1982, I think. I gotta look.
Oh.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's in it. He plays Sir Gawain. Patrick Stewart's in it. He plays Leon de Grance. Yeah, there's like a lot of like young British actors in this, and 1981 is when this came out.
Wow. That long ago.
But it has. I would love to have this as a poster, like a framed poster, like in our living room, because it tells the tale of Arthur, and it starts from the beginning.
Right.
So he pulls the sword from the stone and everything.
Right.
At one point, Arthur strikes a killing blow like he against Lancelot. I think it's when he first meets Lancelot, and he throws Excalibur into the lake,
Whoa.
and the sword is returned to him by the lady in the lake under the condition that once he dies, he has to get the sword back.
Right.
Or the lady of the lake, he has to return the sword to the lake
Gotcha.
because the sword is what will unite the British Empire.
Oh, gotcha.
So at the end of the movie, Arthur's dying, and he gives the sword to one of the knights, and he's like, "You have to take this to this lake, and you have to throw it into the lake. It has to be done."
Right.
And the knight goes, "Okay, it will be done." And he goes to the lake, and he's standing, he's looking at the sword. He's like, "It's this fucking Excalibur. This is King Arthur's sword. I can't just throw it in a lake." So he hides it, and he goes back. And he tells Arthur, "It's been done." And Arthur's like, "What happened?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "When you threw the sword in the lake, what happened?" He's like, "It hit the water, there was a splash, and it sunk to the bottom." He's like, "And you didn't throw it in the lake. You have to throw it in the lake."
Busted.
So the knight goes back, and he throws the sword, and it's like this red sun in the background, and the water is perfectly still, and this hand just comes out of the water and grabs Excalibur by the hilt and twists it so it's pointing straight up, and it's just like the red sun, this arm covered in like seaweed and this Excalibur, and it's like there for just a second, and then it comes straight down. And it is like this beautiful shot. To me, one of the greatest shots in movie history. And just to have that moment as a poster of the lady in the lake holding Excalibur straight up with that red sun behind it.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's badass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I might have to watch that.
Yeah.
That's a little moving.
I also have that on DVD.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that at all.
But that was one of the rare times like I'm 10, like when it comes out on HBO.
Oh, wow.
And my dad was like, "I know it's rated R. There's going to be some nudity."
Oh, is that why it's rated R back then? Okay.
There's some nudity, and there's a little hanky panky.
Little hanky panky.
Little hanky panky taking place. It's like, but you have to watch this.
You have to watch this.
This is a must watch for you, my son.
Don't let this slip away.
Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
I love you. I won't tell Mom.
And I love boobs.
I love boobs.
So yeah. So it's.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've seen that one?
Not that long. I want to say maybe 5 years.
Okay, so not as long as
Ladyhawke is. I probably haven't watched Ladyhawke 10 years or more.
What is it with the lady in the lakes and the waters?
That's all mythology. Like, I mean, it was all playing off of the Arthur mythology, and it's so whatever French guy actually wrote the Legend of King Arthur.
Oh, was it French dude?
Supposedly, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to know it all offhand, but like somebody traced, like it was like this French prisoner who wrote the story of King Arthur. Like, I mean, Brits have been trying for years. Like, the French guy, apparently he said that this was based partially off of a true story. So King Arthur very well may have been real. The first king of England and stuff like that. The first uniter of England. But like, I mean, people have been trying to trace their lineage back to King Arthur forever.
Right.
And it's like one of those things that, like, is it when the
Thank you.
When the legend beats reality, print the legend.
Right. Right.
That's kind of what they've done over the years.
Wow. Huh. Maybe I'll put that on my to watch.
You should. I mean, those are two movies. Excalibur, not so much, because it's very niche. You have a problem with British stuff, and it's very British, because everybody's like speaking British English the entire movie. Like, I know you find that rough.
Yeah.
Like, but
Excuse me. Yeah, I have issues with that. I don't know why.
but it's a really good movie.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think if you watch it, you didn't get into it, but it may be something you may actually have to watch subtitled, believe it or not,
Oh, really? Oh,
just because of like the British,
right.
you know,
Because of
like
the
because I think I have to do that sometimes with like
really.
yeah with like Doctor Who,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
because sometimes it gets so British. I'm like, what the fuck did
Well,
they just say?
yeah, I don't understand that. Give me a
That-
translation.
yeah, I need it. Okay, let me reread that. You know, let me just turn on the closed caption and read
Yeah,
this because
right.
I don't get what he said.
No clue.
Yeah, that
No
was
clue.
way too British.
Way too British.
Yeah,
It's even too British for me.
yeah. So, so I get that like to an extent, like, but I don't let it get in the way because like there've been a lot of British stuff I've really liked, like Sherlock.
Right.
Um, the BBC did a years ago they did a Robin Hood TV show I liked a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I remember when we like I think I watched that when we were laid off, and it was like one of those things that like when we first got streaming Netflix. Like I think I was watching Netflix in the living room off of the Xbox 360,
Wow.
and you were watching it
Off the Wii.
off the Wii
With the disc.
with the disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you had to put a run a disc to get Netflix
Yeah,
on the
I
Wii. It was
remember that.
like the
Wow.
craziest thing.
Was the craziest thing.
But but yeah, I think that was like one of the things I watched when we first got laid off. I was like, Robin Hood looks interesting. Let me give it a try.
Uh,
And it was like a really good show.
wow.
Yeah,
That was it. That's a while ago, though.
it was. Yeah,
Hmm.
and of course, like Doctor Who. Like I like Doctor Who a lot, and Monty Python, and
I can't watch TV with subtitles. There's just not. I can't.
I know you can't. Like I know it's a struggle. Like so, I mean, when we went to go see Godzilla -1, that was a struggle. You were like making a massive sacrifice.
But that I know. But that had short dialogue. It was just like it didn't overwhelm what I was watching
Right,
because it wasn't constant.
right.
I mean, Godzilla's on the screen most of the time,
Yeah,
so
yeah. When Godzilla's in the screen, there's subtitles.
yeah, except for the roar,
Yeah,
and they're not doing that. They're
right,
just yeah. So that wasn't actually too bad, and I think it was also because of the size of the screen.
right.
I wasn't missing anything anyways, but like when you're watching it on, your 60 or 70 inch or whatever at home, um, uh, it's very distracting because it's right around the bottom of the screen. You know what I mean? I know it's like that too when you're in a theater, but you got a bigger screen. Darby, no. He's gonna jump up on the stove. Sorry.
Okay. So, so otherwise, how are you? How have you been?
Oh, I'm great.
Yeah, yeah. You just almost lost half a thumb.
I
No big deal.
did. I did a self-mutilation.
Yeah.
That's what somebody said to me today. They're like, "What are you self-mutilating back here?" And I'm like, "It was an accident. I was at work."
Not a cutter.
Yeah.
Not a cutter.
There was a reason I had a knife in my hand. It
Yeah.
wasn't to do that. No, it stitched me up. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Day 3 is still okay.
Yeah.
The pain isn't there. It's the sensations.
Yeah.
That's what's getting me. And whenever I bang it off of something,
Yeah.
and then there's pain.
Right.
Takes a while for that pain to subside.
Right.
It's just very sensitive. That's all. Other than that, it's good. I went back to work.
Yeah.
Stitch me up. I gotta go back to work, doc.
Yeah.
He was like, "No, I think I'm going back to work." Even my boss was like, "You need to go home." I'm like, "Nah, we're gonna have fire. I can stick it out."
Yeah.
Ended up being here almost another hour.
That's gonna clean up all my blood.
Yeah. Amazingly enough, I caught it so quickly. There wasn't no blood anywhere.
Yeah.
Not one. The person that came in, that runs the kitchen, came in
Yeah.
so I could be taken to get stitches.
Yeah.
She could not, and she's good.
Yeah.
She sees everything.
Yeah.
Not one drop of blood did she find.
Wow.
She said, not even on the knife.
Yeah.
She says, that's how quick you did that.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm glad I stopped before I went through. That was my fear, was I went so far that they couldn't keep.
Right.
And then I didn't know how far down my thumb it was because I never looked at it.
Right.
But the reaction I was getting from the people who were looking at it,
Yeah.
I thought it was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, but it wasn't painful. As long as I held that towel around, it wasn't
Yeah.
painful. It was just like weird because I could feel the blood flowing out of it. All,
Yeah.
like, I want to say gushing, but it slowed after a
Yeah.
while. So it was weird. It was a weird experience for me because I would expect something like that to be so painful.
Right.
The really, really bad pain came when he was sticking my finger with that numbing shit.
Yeah.
And he had to do it twice because, I should have did more the first time, because when he went down my thumb a little and he stuck, I screamed. I was like, ow. And he's like, oh, I guess I didn't give you enough. I didn't think
Yeah.
so. And I'm like, dude. So he had to stick me again. That was painful.
Yeah.
Not the taking off the nail or anything like that. Like, just that needle, man.
Yeah.
They love them needles.
I hate it. I mean, I've only gotten stitches twice in my life.
Oh, you're lucky.
And one time I'm too small to remember.
You're lucky.
Yeah. But the one time I do remember was on my lip.
Oh my gosh.
Like right, like just to the left of center.
I'm gonna say football injury.
No.
Oh.
Stupid injury.
As is.
I was it was at my parents' house.
Oh.
And I didn't have my socks on all the way.
Oh shit.
And I tripped over my sock, and I fell and I caught I was trying to catch it. I caught myself, but not enough, and I hit my lip right off the edge of the counter.
Oh my gosh.
Like, my bedroom, just so you can get an idea, my bedroom was the back room my dad used.
Right.
So I came out of there and I caught it right on that counter right next to the refrigerator.
Okay.
Like right there, like bam.
Oh wow.
And
wow.
it split open pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I held it together. And I thought, well, this isn't that bad. I think I'm okay. I looked at myself in the mirror and I let it go, and it just went. Bleh.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get that taken care of.
How old were you?
I was.
I'm sorry, the pain.
26, 27.
I just can feel that. I'm sorry. I'm like.
It was like 2000.
We gotta stop talking about this shit.
So the thing I remember, at the time, I just had a mustache. Working at Linkin Park, we weren't allowed to have anything other than a mustache.
Okay.
So I just had the mustache, and I drove myself to the hospital, holding my thing together, my lip together, my lip, and I get to the hospital, and I go to the emergency room, and the woman's like it was like a Saturday night, like at 8:00, and the woman's like, and what's your problem? I just what does it? That. And my lips like, bleh. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you need to be seen.
Oh my god.
I'm like, thanks.
And what's your problem?
You can tell she already was having a shitty day.
Yeah.
It was like a Saturday night, but it took so long to be seen. And they even gave me we'll give you a cold compress for that.
Oh god.
I'm sitting in the waiting room.
Mm.
I sat there for an hour and a half, waiting to be seen, holding my lip together.
Wow.
So by the time the doctor actually saw me, it was starting to,
congeal back
together.
Uh-huh.
So he had to rip it apart.
Oh, Sean, please stop.
So that hurt.
You just sit there.
The doctor's like, okay, this is gonna hurt. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it. And he pulls it apart, and I just mother, with a fist balled up.
Yeah, you're ready to knock him out.
And he was he was from India.
Oh.
And he had
mine too. I think Patel.
Yeah, he had a big bushy mustache.
This one, I don't know.
And
He was wearing
when he had to work on my like, he's like, okay, he's like, I hate to do this to you because you have a wonderful mustache, but I have to shave it.
Oh my.
I'm
Yeah.
like, do what you got to do, Doc. I mean,
Oh,
I mean, like,
wow.
I get it.
He's so apologetic.
He was like, you have a wonderful mustache.
Mustache.
Yeah, that's how he.
I would have been like my mustachio.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So and he,
My mustache.
so he sewed it back together,
Oh.
and he's like, like 2 weeks we'll have to have these taken out. I'm like, okay, great.
Mm.
The real problem became now, like any other person, by the time, like when they get stitches, everything is still swollen up. So by the time it's healed, the stitches are kind of loose, and you don't have to go to a doctor. You can just kind of cut them out yourself.
Yep.
I couldn't because I did such a good job of keeping my shit together.
Oh wow.
So there was no swelling.
Yeah.
By the time the doctor saw me,
Yeah.
there was no swelling, so it never.
Hmm.
So I actually had to go back. They had to shave my mustache again
Oh.
to be able to remove the sutures.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've taken my own stitches out before when I had to get my
I asked.
finger, so I don't know. Maybe it's only 3.
Yeah.
The one's through the nail, so
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would
They
definitely.
also make those ones that dissolve.
He said they aren't
Don't
dissolved.
dissolve.
Yeah, he said I will have to have them physically right.
I asked my dad, like, can you take these out for me? And he's like, those are tight. Like, my dad was like, yeah, you might need to see a professional.
Those are tight. I might recut your lip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
He
okay.
did a great job.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it was annoying because it was like by the time I saw the doctor, between the pressure I was applying and the cold compress, he had to rip it back open to do any work.
You fucking stop saying that. Oh my
But
God.
by the time it was time to take, because of everything, by the time when it was time to take the stitches out, like you had to like go back to the hospital to have it done because you couldn't do it yourself. Yeah, he did everything great, but at the same time, it fucked up everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have been better off probably just, super gluing that together.
Come on, don't say it. And you said it.
I did. So, I mean, your pain 100 times worse than mine, but
I don't know. It didn't really hurt her. Well, somebody said that about super glue. They were like, "Why don't you just super glue it back on?" I was like, "Well, there was, a flap of my finger was hanging off my. I felt maybe I needed professional help here.
I don't think super glue is the way to go with that.
There was so much blood. Where was I supposed to put the fucking super glue?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I tell you what, I had a lot of blood on my arm.
Yeah.
I was picking off specks when I got home that night. I was like, "Whoa, more blood." Yeah. I held it above my hand the whole entire way there.
Yeah.
Or above my head, because that's what my boss kept saying. Put your hand back up.
Yeah.
That's tiring.
Yes, it is.
So I had to like hold my other hand like on my wrist.
Yeah.
Above my head, yeah. Because we were in her truck.
Yeah, I used to hate when I used to wallpaper. A lot of that works above your head.
Yes.
So it's like, fuck, my arms are done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot work above my head.
No.
Which is weird because I was just talking to my other boss about that today. He said something about working above your head. I was like, "Oh, I'm useless." I said, "That's why I would fail on Survivor because I would never be able to do those challenges. Half of them are above your head."
Yeah.
And I said, "Nope."
You'd be a puzzle person.
Puzzle. Not these days, but not years ago, but years. I could have did the swimming challenges too.
Yeah.
I was just too slow and tired now.
Yeah.
And puzzles, yes. I think I could possibly make it to the jury, just with my social game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You're kind of a bitch.
No, I can be.
No.
I am not straight out. I can be a bitch. Piss me off and I become bitchy. I'm a female.
So there was some big news um, on Thursday.
Dun dun dun.
Bum, bum, bum. Um, Linkin Park has announced they have a new lead singer,
Right.
um, and to replace the deceased Chester Bennington,
Mm-hmm.
and their new album, world tour, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Now, you and I have seen Linkin Park together 3 times. Um, I am a fan of Linkin Park. You are a much bigger fan of Linkin Park.
Super fan.
Super, like you.
Was super fan.
So, I get so my first question: how much of what they released, like they did the concert? They know they released. There was an interview that they all did with some guy, and the music video for the new song. How much of it have you seen, and what are your
I
thoughts?
haven't watched the video yet.
Okay,
I've only heard the song because I was driving in my car and I got that Sirius
right,
XM and I saw Linkin Park come up and I'm looking at the name of the song and I'm like, that is no name of it because
yeah,
yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I heard they were gonna be putting new stuff out and then I heard a female voice and I'm like, absolutely not. No. I couldn't even finish. I turned it. Like I couldn't even listen. And it's nothing against her. I, there was just something that unnerved me about that for some reason. I don't know why. Because I'm a bitch. No, it was just, well, I have a hard time just listening to Linkin Park in general. And I know I didn't know Chester and he meant nothing to me and blah, blah, blah. But the music meant a lot to me at the
right,
time uh, in my life and what I was going through when that stuff was that shit helped me through some things,
right,
you know? So I have a really hard time just even listening to it now. Like it comes on Sirius XM often,
right,
and a lot of times I will go right past it to the next station.
right.
So when I heard that, I was like, nope. Call yourself something else, please.
I'm kind of in the same boat, but like I'll say this: like I like the new song.
Someday I'm gonna listen to it all the way through.
Right. I listened to it. I like it. I like her voice. Her name's Emily Armstrong. Um, I listened to bits and pieces of the concert that I saw posted online on Thursday. Again, having her perform the old stuff, she sounds good. I didn't have a problem with it. It's just it hurts too much.
It wasn't meant for her to sing.
Right.
That was
Like
Chester and what he was going through.
right. Like it's this thing of like, and I'm not saying like Linkin Park's like the last thing Linkin Park is going to do the remaining members is in any way, shape, or form disrespect
Oh, hell
Chester Bennington.
no.
I don't. I'm
No.
not saying that at all. What
Nope.
I'm saying is from my standpoint, and I'm sure from your standpoint as well,
Excuse me.
especially when you think about the last time we saw them live, it was Chris Cornell was the opening
I
act,
agree.
and like,
Yep.
and not too long after that, they're both gone.
Right.
You know,
Europort. Or
yeah.
no.
Well, not. I mean, but
His birthday or something. I can't
yeah.
remember. Can't remember.
But it was like a year after that concert, Chris
Yeah.
Cornell died,
Right.
and not too long after that, Chester's gone.
Right.
So it hurts to hear anybody sing that song,
Yeah.
those songs.
Anyone.
I am not being critical of Emily Armstrong's performance because she performed well. Like listening to her sing the songs, like she sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, that they're not. Those songs were about Chester's experience, not her experience. When Chester sang those songs, there was something that came from his soul
Yeah.
that you felt in those songs.
Yeah.
And knowing what they meant to him, the way we saw him last,
Yeah.
it hurts too much to hear somebody else sing it.
Mm.
And I mean that in the most respectful way possible to the band and to Emily Armstrong. Like I'm not critiquing you. I'm not saying the band shouldn't do it.
No.
I'm not saying that she shouldn't be doing. Like I'm not none of that. It's just from a personal standpoint. I know for you and it is for me. It just hurts too much to hear somebody else singing those songs.
Yes. Agreed. Now, while you were watching the concert video, did you notice somebody was missing from the band?
Yes. Yeah, the
Yeah.
drummer Brad.
Rob.
Yeah. But I saw an interview with Mike, and he hasn't been a part of the band for a number of years.
No, but they did ask him to join them on this, and he declined in what he called a reunion.
Right.
That's what he called it.
Because I know, like, they talk. I saw Mike was talking about it, and they were asking him about Brad, and he said he had,
Rob.
I'm sorry. That's Brad.
Well, there is a Brad.
There is a Brad, yeah.
He's not the drummer.
Yeah. And he said, Rob wanted to step away from the band a while back.
Right.
Like, he's like, if you think, like, even though we haven't done anything, quote unquote, we've still done things like the 25th anniversary of Hybrid Theory and stuff like that. And he's like, if you look at what we were doing then, he wasn't a part of that either.
Right.
So it's not a matter of him stepping away now, saying I don't want to do this for whatever. He's already done that.
Exactly.
So I didn't take it as anything other than he's no longer interested.
Right.
And that, based on what Mike said, I tend to think, well, that's probably correct.
Yeah. I agree.
But like I wish them nothing but the best. Like I'm you and I talked about it a little bit a couple days ago, and I was trying to find something to equate it to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the worst analogy I can think of, but it's the only one that the square peg I can fit into this round hole. And that's when Sammy Hagar took over for Van Halen.
Right.
I never wanted to hear Sammy Hagar singing David Lee Roth songs.
Right.
It didn't feel right.
No.
But and when I saw Van Halen live, the only two songs from that era they did were Panama and Jump.
Right.
Everything else was Sammy era. But I saw them in '94. At that point, they were on the Right Here, Right Now tour, which was the live album for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Right.
So
I like how you say it out.
For the Fuck album.
You're the only person I know that does that all the time.
For Unlawful Carnal. Well, that's technically the name of the album. For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
I heard it. I know. I was an owner.
Yeah. Took me a long time to figure out what that actually meant.
Oh.
So I saw somebody with a T-shirt on. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Fuck. That makes sense.
The light bulb goes on.
But
No, I get it. Or I agree. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's so I've been going through my head other bands that lost lead singer, that had the lead singer die. How did they do? And the only ones that really that leapt to my attention were AC/DC, and somehow they found a guy who sounded exactly like the other singer,
Right.
and they could just keep going,
Right.
and they've been doing so for 40 years.
Yep.
And In Excess. And they tried to replace Michael Hutchence 10 years later.
Successful.
They were not. No, that's what I mean.
JD Fortune did not make them a fortune.
Right, but at the same time, it wasn't a matter of JD Fortune just made a ton of mistakes that cost him that job.
Oh, I'm not saying
right.
that.
It wasn't. But at the same time,
you said they were successful. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying
they were not successful.
No, I'm not saying that they were successful. I was just saying they were in the same.
No, you said any band that had a lead singer die and somebody take over and be successful.
That's what we talked about on Thursday. I didn't say that today.
Gotcha.
You're getting our
And I
conversations mixed up.
apologize. That is my fault.
No, it was just a matter of those were the two bands I can think of that they had a
Gotcha.
lead singer die.
Hmm.
They tried to replace the lead singer, and what were the results? Well,
Gotcha.
AC/DC
Right.
was clearly a
Right.
massive success. In excess, not so much,
Much.
but it wasn't a matter of the lead singer not being good as much as it was the lead singer succumbing to drugs and alcohol,
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Right. Yeah.
and
Exactly.
screwing up his life,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm viewing that. Like you do wonder, like, if JD Fortune didn't have those problems, would they have gone on to have any? Like, they didn't even have a chance. Like, within a
Yeah.
year, he was
Yeah.
gone.
Gone. Or that we know of. Like I
Right.
don't know what happened. I don't know personally, but yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Like,
Very quickly. I mean, they did that whole entire TV show,
yeah.
and I was like,
Like
to get him.
the only other thing I could think of is Queen has at least 3 different times toured or done something with another lead singer. I know in the early 2000s they did it with Robbie Williams,
Hmm.
who I thought was a perfect fit.
Right.
Um, Later on they did it with Paul Rogers, who was, you would know, is the former lead singer of Bad Company.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
Right. And then there was a third guy, I can't think of his name. You like him.
Oh, you're talking about Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert, yeah.
Yeah.
They did
Because
some
I
stuff.
wanted to go see him when he was here, and you're like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. And I'm like, Adam Lambert's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The dude was like the perfect fit there. Freaking love him. Like he is one of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
I freaking love that kid. And I never even watched American Idol. Not
Yeah.
one episode. Not one. I didn't even watch somebody interview.
Right.
I don't even know how they get on it. Just I heard a song in my niece's radio one time. I was like, who the hell is this? And she told me, and then I was like, listen to more shit, and I just got addicted to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I haven't heard anything from him lately, but I'm guessing that's because he does the Queen shit right now, right?
I don't think he's doing anything with Queen right now.
No, I thought
No.
they were still.
No.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him. I don't know what he's doing. I just know once he started doing the Queen thing, I didn't hear no new stuff from him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was like I remember when I remember Queen came to Pittsburgh with Paul Rogers. Now I like Paul
Oh,
Rogers
really?
and I like Queen, but I'm like thinking to myself, man, that does not sound like a good combination.
Why not?
He doesn't have the voice for it.
No.
No, like, I mean, like when I think of Paul Rogers, it's like, it's Bad Company, it's,
Right.
Rock and Roll Fantasy, it's like, or even like when he did the 2 albums with The Firm.
I don't know what that is.
Um, that was Paul Rogers and Jimmy Page.
Oh. Hmm.
They remember the song Radioactive?
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't?
that was The Firm.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Now they do also. It didn't get much radio play, but Midnight Moonlight was a great song. But they on the first album, on their debut album, they do a cover of God, you never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
Oh my God, I have no idea what you're singing. Oh wait, is that the old song?
Yeah,
Old song? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Not the Righteous Brothers. I
right. It
think
is the Righteous
is
Brothers.
it
Yeah,
the Righteous
yeah.
Brothers? Okay, maybe it's
Um,
them.
well, I can't think of the name of that fucking song. That's embarrassing. I mean,
Me neither. So we're both being embarrassed, but
yeah,
you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll share that title together.
yes, we will.
Thanks.
We certainly will. You've lost that love and feeling.
Ah,
That's
that's
it.
it. That's it. Yeah. I
Yeah, but I mean, it was Paul Rogers on vocals, Jimmy Page on guitar, um, ex-Uriah Heep drummer Chris Slade.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, of course you don't. And bassist Tony Friend, I think he was also from Bad Company.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, like they do like this very bluesy, very.
what was the reason you didn't go see him?
Because I didn't think Paul Rogers would sound good doing Queen music.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Like and I hate to do that because it's like that. Well, you're a dick, but
Are
like
you for not going to see somebody in concert? You're a dick.
no, it with Queen especially. I feel like Freddie Mercury's voice is irreplaceable.
I agree.
Like seeing like the tribute concert they did in 1992
Hmm.
and seeing all the people who were performing was great. But I don't want to see any of them actually replace Freddie Mercury.
Right.
Like it was like a cool tribute thing. It was cool to see Queen one last time
Yeah.
with all these people, but you know, and you got Axl and Elton John doing
Their
Bohemian
thing.
Rhapsody and like everything that went into it, like it was a
Yeah.
phenomenal show.
Right.
But at the same time, like Freddie's Freddie,
Right.
you know, and like
Freddie's
I
Freddie.
know, and I know I sat here and it's like Robbie Williams would have been like the perfect replacement,
Replacement.
and in a way he is, but still he's not Freddie.
No.
Like that's just a unique talent that'll never be replicated
No.
ever.
Yeah.
So, but even that's different because to me it's then critiquing the person trying to replace him. Where with Linkin Park, I'm not critiquing her at all.
No.
It's
Well, no, you can't.
right
Yeah.
because it's not fair to her.
No.
And it's like it's funny like saying that like, well, it's not fair to anybody who would try to replace Freddie Mercury. Well, the difference is just I can't describe it other than it hurts to hear somebody else singing us.
I don't want to say they're trying to replace them. I don't like
No, I don't like saying it because they're not
They just got some big shoes to fill. That's all.
right. But it's still it's just that it's that thing of like Freddie wrote the music for Queen. Like, you know, the band wrote, but like he wrote a lot of it himself. And he had a vision, but like it wasn't like he wasn't writing about personal experience.
Hmm.
He was trying to just write good music.
Right.
Writing music was therapy for Chester Bennington,
Right.
and it came out in the music.
Right.
And you hear it in the music. You hear it in the lyrics. You hear it in the way he sang those
Hmm.
lyrics. You heard it, the pain in his voice. Like it was it's different hearing somebody else take that over who hasn't had those same experiences and isn't giving you that same pain that Chester did.
Right.
And it's a weird thing to say, but I always felt like for Chester, those moments on stage singing those songs was again therapeutic for him in a way
Yeah.
because he was getting it out and he was sharing it with you and you were embracing it because you felt it as well.
Right.
So, like, I wish them nothing but the best. I'll probably listen to the new album when it comes out in November.
I can't remember. I saw a date
Yeah,
float up. Yeah.
but it is that thing though of like I can't imagine like when they come to town we're gonna go see them.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
And that'll probably be the first time we've ever missed them
Yeah.
coming to town.
Yeah. I could have swore we saw them 4 times. I don't think I don't. I just don't because I know the old stuff will be in there, and I don't. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it'll be overflowing
That's
with
what I'm
the old
saying. Like,
stuff.
write all new stuff. Call yourself a different name,
Yeah,
and I'll get on board.
right.
But it's no, I can't do it. Uh, 5 years from now I'll think differently. 5 days from now I might think
Right.
differently. Yes.
But it is interesting, like if you think about it, like all the bands from that era, and they're kind of the last one standing.
Hmm. Well, I believe that's all Mike.
Well, I think it's they got lumped in with like Limp Bizkit and all those bands of that era. Like it kind of got lumped in like that new metal,
Yeah, but
but they were
they
better,
started it.
right? And they were better than it.
Yes.
It's kind of like saying like Motley Crue is hair metal. No, they're
No,
not. They're
no.
better than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know.
I don't think they're.
No, but people lump them in there
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the
The
same
era
era.
and they
Yeah,
ripped apart. Yeah, but yeah, I can't. They are. They're better than that,
right.
and they were better than that.
I mean, Duran gets lumped in,
Yeah, and I
and
hate that. I hate that because they're way better than that.
yeah,
They're not just 80s music. Sorry, they've
no,
been around since the late 70s and
and
they're still here.
they're better than like well that's just 80s pop. No, it's
Yeah, it's
they are
not.
better than that.
Way better.
There's a certain level that you're talking about,
Yeah,
and they are
right.
high above it. So it's
Exactly.
that's just how I feel. Like it's like they're kind of in that same stratosphere of like they're the band that was better than everybody. Like Limp Bizkit's fun.
Yeah.
Like
I told you the other
yeah.
day. I
Like
told
yeah, I
you.
mean there is. Like I mean like that like Nookie and break stuff and
Break stuff.
like
That's the one. That's
yeah
the one I was listening to. Yeah, because okay, real quick, because I called you
yeah
and I said I was listening to break stuff, and I said if you know that song and it comes on the radio while you're driving, and whenever he says "break your fucking face tonight," if you don't scream that with
yeah
him, there's something wrong with you.
yeah
Because it is just so much fun to do
right.
it.
It's
And
like
that's you said it's
and
fun.
and there goes all my anger.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah
gone.
yeah
Not even pissed that I was cut off 5 times. Whatever. Yeah, that's what Limp Bizkit did for you. Limp Bizkit was actually therapeutic listening to it.
yeah. But like for like that like Limp Bizkit was like frat boy music.
Right.
Like that was like
So it was like people like Sugar Ray and stuff like
yeah
that. Yeah.
like they were like the people who were like that was just generic, just hit you in the face and
Yeah.
keep going. Where Linkin Park, there was a whole nother level too.
Linkin Park built a relationship with you through their music.
Right. And endured.
Yeah.
Like
They had no idea who you were, but they sure the hell loved you.
right. And but like but they like I mean like, like 3 or 4 Transformers movies that end with that Linkin Park song. You know.
Well, you can't say that because Moby's in all the other thing, and Resident Evil has Perfect Circle and everyone. You can't say that.
Right, but that it was like the same song. Like
Perfect Circle is the same song. Moby is the same song.
and
Born Identity.
Rage had the Matrix movies.
Right, right.
You
So
know.
it was all the same song.
But like but they reached that point of like of popularity and mainstream appeal that they
Hmm.
could be put into a Transformers
Right,
movie. They could be the focus song at the end of it.
right.
And the funny thing is like I've seen other things done where they use that song and it works
Yeah.
perfectly to like the ending of the Kenobi show.
Hmm.
Like when Obi-Wan is meeting Luke for the first time and they use that song.
Really?
Yeah, like and it times up like perfectly.
Wow.
Like it's like you're like
Huh. Now I got that song in my head. Thanks. It's a good song.
let me see if I gotta show it to you. Hold on.
Oh boy.
All right, so that's and we can move on here.
Okay. Trot, trot, trot.
Trot. Um
I keep opening the empty one. Why do I
it
keep doing that?
I don't know. It's nothing official, but apparently Josh Brolin is going to be playing Hal Jordan in the Lanterns show that's going to be on HBO and Max.
You didn't say it wasn't official yet when you told me.
Well, I mean, it's all but. Like, it hasn't been an official announcement, but apparently it's come out that he's going to be playing Hal Jordan.
And this is going to be a TV show
Yes.
for how many seasons?
Well, that I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
we'll have to wait and see. But I know, like, originally this was supposed to be a Max exclusive, and now they're moving it to HBO
Oh.
because they want to make HBO still be important,
Oh,
even though
okay.
in the age of streaming, how important can it be?
Yeah.
Um, that's a discussion that me and Ian had, and that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing.
Right.
But I guess my question to you is like, I know you're not overly familiar with Green Lantern. You saw the movie,
Which one?
the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, edit that. I seen 10 minutes of that movie.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought we went to go see it together.
No,
I must have went to see it alone.
it's not when I went.
Um,
I think you couldn't wait to see it, and I
yeah.
was like, go ahead. No need to wait for me.
Well, yeah, because I mean it was Green Lantern, and he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And
You still have all your rings?
yeah,
And you have them all.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the rings of power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's quite the collection. As was your comic book collection of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. Well, how do you when you hear that he's going to be playing Hal Jordan? Does that excite you?
I wouldn't say it excites me, but it interests me for sure
Okay.
because I'm not a huge Josh Brolin fan. Like, I don't be like, oh my God, there's Josh Brolin, you know. Was he in Everest?
Yeah,
Okay. He was the rich dude.
yeah. He was. Well, they were all rich, but yeah, he was the one who like lost like half his face.
They were not all rich. The teacher was not, if you remember. Okay. Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, but yeah, he was in that movie. Yeah.
okay. From what he has done in these types of movies already, I have enjoyed. I have never said, man, somebody else could have been better than that, or you know what I mean?
Right, and you're
He
talking
did
about Deadpool 2 when he played Cable and playing
Thanos.
Thanos in
Yes.
the Marvel movies.
Right.
He also played Jonah Hex, which is a comic book
Oh,
character.
right.
Yeah,
He did.
but that
Yeah.
was a horrible movie.
Yeah, I didn't
That was
watch that,
not his fault.
but I do remember him being
Yeah.
in it. So, like anything that I like and have been interested in that he's been in, I've enjoyed. So I have no doubt that he can, possibly pull this off. To maybe I'll sit and watch some Green Lantern stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make me want to watch because I know what a good job he could do.
Right.
So I wouldn't say excite as much as interest or piques my interest.
Well, I mean, I mean, the thing becomes this: like, if you're bringing in Josh Brolin, that means you're doing an old man Hal Jordan,
Right.
which bums me out a little bit.
Uh,
Like, let me put it this way: I think Josh Brolin's going to be very good. He's a very good actor.
yes.
Like, so I have no doubt he can bring something to that role, and it's going to be done very well. If you were to ask me, like, okay, Sean, your dream casting, who is your perfect Hal Jordan? Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah. Star Trek dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can see him as a young Hal Jordan.
that would be my Hal Jordan.
How do you know that they're just starting with old man Hal Jordan, don't do flashbacks to young Hal Jordan, have a young Hal Jordan too?
Well, I mean, they
You don't know
might.
what the storylines
I
are.
mean, you're right, but if you're telling me that Hal Jordan is going to be played by Josh Brolin, that means you're going to have an old man Hal Jordan.
Right.
Like,
I'm not denying that.
right. I guess for me, and here's where the disconnect comes into play. Okay, Hal Jordan is my Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I grew up with Hal Jordan as Green Lantern. Like the comic books I've read, Hal Jordan was Green Lantern. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when you know the whole thing, like everything, like the Parallax saga and Hal having to become the Spectre and like everything that went into all that. Like that was like my guy.
Right.
Now there is an entire generation who grew up with John Stewart as their Green Lantern.
Oh.
John Stewart was the Green Lantern in the Justice League cartoon that was done by the same people who did Batman the Animated Series.
Gotcha.
That's their Green Lantern. They those are people. Those are millennials. People in their 30s and maybe their early 40s now. They grew up. That was their how. That was their Green Lantern.
Is that an older Green Lantern or younger?
No, he was just a different guy.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
He was a ex-Marine who went to school and became an architect, but he had the power of will and he got a ring. In the comic books, he's Hal's backup.
Oh.
Like, because Hal does so much, and there's so much that goes on in our sector, because apparently we are the center of the universe.
Oh.
The Guardians deemed that Hal needed an actual backup, and they got John Stewart. So Hal could travel the universe, and John Stewart could stay behind and still keep watch over our sector.
Oh, okay.
So, but that in the Justice League, John Stewart was the Green Lantern for our sector.
Mm-mm.
There was no Hal Jordan.
Right.
So there's an entire generation of millennials that's who they grew up with.
Right.
So I understand from a certain perspective, it would probably be more profitable to make to make John Stewart the main Green Lantern and Hal Jordan a secondary old man who's passing the torch maybe to John Stewart.
Right.
Like I don't know exactly how this is going to play out. I don't know. But to me, like if you're having Josh Brolin, you're bringing him in to be the old man Hal, who has already had all those experiences. And me, I want a younger Hal that can go through those experiences.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But I understand from there's a certain perspective where you're probably marketing to 30 and 40-year-olds and saying, okay, well, they grew up with this guy, not this guy, so we're going to focus on this guy, but we got to satisfy Gen X, so let's give them this guy.
Yeah.
But we'll give them an older version like they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, so I get it, like how the wheels are turning in like these executives' heads, but at the same time, it's I honestly you give me my guy, and like I'm right there.
Yeah.
Like I would also, if you want to go with an older Hal Jordan, I would have accepted Matt Bomer.
I was gonna say, didn't you want Matt Bomer to play Hal Jordan? But no, you wanted him to play somebody else.
Batman. I thought Matt Bomer as Batman would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah. He's in something now. Isn't he doing something on one of these streaming services?
He is still a very busy actor.
Yeah.
And they're talking about doing a white collar revival.
Really?
Yeah.
I never finished that series. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Something else Nancy has to finish. But yeah, I got him and the guy who played his partner. Like they've talked about doing some sort of revival, which I would be behind.
I would be behind. Yeah. Way behind. Probably more behind than you. Oh, you mean behind them doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you meant behind on watching to get up to the revival.
I watched the entire series.
You did too?
Oh yeah, I watched the whole way through. I know what happens to Neil Cafferty.
How many seasons are there?
I can't think 6, 7.
Shit. I'm at least 3 or 4 behind. I only watched a couple seasons of that. But it was good. I just drifted to something else.
It fell into that trap, but it does a good job with it of like, there's an overarching storyline the entire season, but every episode is like its own episode.
Right.
And so like you have that overarching story kind of build, and like the last 3 or 4 episodes were kind of focused on like, okay, now we're bringing this to a conclusion. Right. And then it would end in such a way that it's like, okay, now what did Neil do?
Yeah.
You know, like and the way
And you had
this
to wait till the next season
yeah,
to
you have to
see
wait
what
till
he
the
would
next
say.
season to find out. But and then the way it ends, like it was like a good ending. I liked it.
Mm,
But if they were to revive it somehow,
mm,
I would definitely be very interested in that.
yeah. Huh, I'll have to watch
Yeah.
at least the last season.
And also he did do he was in the there was he was on he was in the DC show on Max. I can't remember the name of it. I gotta look it up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can just look up his name, right?
Yeah.
Ting, 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 ting. You're the only person I know that has their
Doom
star
Patrol.
name. Oh, Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't watch it, but I remember it existed.
Yeah.
Who is he in there? I don't know nothing about.
He was a negative man. And like he was like this like 1950s test pilot who encountered some sort of ethereal being in low orbit and absorbed him and it like made him radioactive.
That's kind of far-fetched.
Yeah. But it's a comic book show.
Right, okay.
And so like he
You're
has
right, you're right.
yeah, and it was a very good show. Like it ran for a few seasons and it ran its course and they ended it and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's also in the Magic Mike movies.
I'm well aware of that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I haven't seen the last one yet. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it. I don't know if Selma Hayek can save that.
Oh, yes, she can.
It wouldn't make you watch it, so stop.
I mean,
It would make you have to watch the first two and then you watch that one.
the genius of Quentin Tarantino is he wrote a scene into his movie where Selma Hayek fed him beer off of her foot. Known foot fetisher, Quentin Tarantino.
She did it.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, yeah, she's beautiful. I like her voice. You know, her kid looks exactly like her. Which did
Yeah.
when I saw a picture of her.
She's one of those like gotten better with age.
Yeah.
Like
Isn't she married to some like
yeah,
multi-billionaire or some shit? Yeah. I mean, but she had her.
some Spanish.
Yeah, but she had a
Yeah.
fortune in her own right.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like it was like just one of those deals where it's like you never have to work again.
Yeah.
You just
But
choose.
please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Please do. Yeah.
And please continue.
Yeah.
I will continue to pay to see you.
Please continue posting pictures of you jumping out of the water on your Instagram page.
Okay, I don't follow her on Instagram, so you go ahead and please send that. I just want to watch her in the movies.
Oh, and that's where you just. Oh, you're a pig, Sean. Click. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right.
Hopefully it's good. That's all I gotta say.
Fingers crossed.
And toes.
Yeah. It amazes me how many people hope the James Gunn stuff fails.
Why?
There's a large group of people who are like, Zack Snyder should have gotten an opportunity to finish what he started. And as much as I love it, the worst thing Warner Brothers did was give him the money to finish his version of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
It should have stayed buried. Because these people are just unrelenting and like, James Gunn will never be as good. This is gonna suck, and how dare they? And like they release stuff from the Superman movie that's coming out, and like, oh, that suit's awful, and it looks like it's so baggy looking, and what's this and what's this, and look at this, and it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Like, give it an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, you are judging like a movie based upon like stills,
Yeah.
and
A picture here and there.
yeah, and it's this thing of like, I get it. Like, I would have loved to have seen Zack Snyder finish what he started as well.
Mhm.
I'd love to have seen where that went. But it's like they're like, sell it to Netflix. Netflix, and they're not going to give, DC is not going to give these characters to Netflix. Like, you just you it they are worse than the people who are still like, you can still save Serenity.
Right. You can still say so.
That shit is dead and buried. There is nothing to save.
Yeah.
You cannot reanimate that corpse.
No.
And it's the same thing with the Snyderverse. It's dead. It's gone. As much as I enjoyed it, and I know I'm in the minority, but there is a very vocal minority of people who are just like, it was brilliant. No,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
So let's see what's new is coming.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in what's new that's coming.
Yeah.
I want to see what he's going to do with Superman. I want to see what he's going to do with Batman. I want to see where this all goes.
Yeah.
Because like, I look at what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, that was the movie when they announced that. Me and Ian sat here and we were like, how do you make that work? How do you make Groot work? How do you
Yeah.
make Rocket
Yeah.
Raccoon work?
Right.
I can't see how this
Right.
this is going to be Marvel's dud. And it's probably the best of what they do.
Yeah.
All three movies.
Yep.
I mean,
It works.
to the point that by the time you get to the third movie, I am bawling halfway through that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I am full on sallied up.
Sallied. I like when you say that.
So like, for people who are like, oh, he's gonna ruin it. Well, I hate to break it to you, you can't ruin something that's already ruined.
Right.
Like, it's clear like the people who love the Snyderverse are in the minority.
Yeah.
Because if they were in the majority, he'd still be doing it.
Okay, so what group am I in where I want to see them both?
Well, like, I would love to see Zack Snyder give an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, even if you did it as an animated version.
Right.
Like, I'd love to see that. I understand why you don't. Because you gave these people an inch and they're trying to take a yard.
Right.
And like, it does drive me nuts to what if. Because like, you watch that Justice League movie and you get to the end and you see Darkseid, and like that moment where at the end when like Superman punches what's his name? I can't think of his name. But and then as he's flying to the boom tube, Wonder Woman cuts his head off.
Oh, wow.
And it rolls in, and Darkseid stops it with his foot and crushes it.
Wow.
And like, there's the Justice League staring down Doomsday, and
Yeah.
like Doomsday's just standing with his hands behind his back like he is, and then the boom tube closes. You're just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's on.
You like to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's like that's like the one villain, the one real villain that like. There are others. I shouldn't say the one, but that's like the villain. Like, that would unite the Justice League. That would bring like, okay, that's the guy that's coming. We don't know when he's gonna get here, but he is fucking coming.
Isn't Doomsday the one that put Superman in that like prism thing that floated in space?
Okay, you're going all the way back to the original Christopher Reeve movie. That wasn't Doomsday. that was Zod and his minions were sent to the Phantom Zone by Jor-El and the Council of Krypton.
Okay.
And it hit like an asteroid or something. They were free, and then they came down and kneel before Zod, son of Jor-El,
Mm-hmm.
and all that jazz.
All that jazz.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And as cool as that is, it's still Michael Shannon when he's like in Man of Steel at the beginning, like when like they're putting him in that crystalline and he's yelling at Laura, "I will find him. He will kneel before me." I'm just like, oh shit. Like I don't know how. Like I know how people hate that movie, but I don't know how you hate that. That movie is so fucking good. I'm gonna go home and watch that tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I
No,
like that.
oh.
Yeah. Man of Steel.
Especially the beginning, like that whole beginning sequence on Krypton, and then Laura just watching the planet explode as she just stands like that, knowing that her son is like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Sorry, you got me thinking about that. Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
He's such a great actor.
He is.
Yeah.
Let me check.
You're like, nah. I'll speak when I'm ready. Who cares who's listening?
Well, let me see if there's anything more that we can repeat.
Anything you can repeat.
Thad's team, he says, is destined for a three-peat. Well, considering you haven't even won a one-peat, I don't know how you can get to 3. He did get an A in his draft, which means absolutely nothing, as we have learned over the years. Is anyone else tired of hearing Jim bitch about the draft order? No one cares about their 16th pick anyway. Cry some more, Jim. I don't know what that was all about. Jim was upset because it was a 16-round draft instead of a 15-round draft, and something about it being odd and being unfair for those of us at the end. I picked 9th. He picked 10th. I saw no problem with it, but he apparently something mathematically didn't add up for him. I'm not quite sure. Tonight was supposed to be Thad's light up night for his Halloween display, but he had to push it due to weather.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite sure why. It was absolutely perfect outside. So next Saturday is opening night. Well, I'll be busy washing my hair.
You're so mean.
Gotta wash my hair.
Banging.
I don't know. I assume it's Darby. Is there anything like that to the proceedings?
No. Thank you for letting me sit in as boring as I was.
You weren't boring. You had much to say.
Yeah.
Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email like Thad does each and every week. The email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Excuse me. Just give them a Google search. You can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week. Cannot thank you enough for your support. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
See ya.